Hello, and welcome to the Bober Academy Football Podcast. I am your host, Chris Bober, 8 years in the NFL, 4 years for the Giants, 4 years for the Chiefs, and I have the distinction of starting a game at every position in the NFL. I'm also the founder of Bober Academy, where our mission is to train and develop superior linemen to dominate on the gridiron. Of course, coaching here locally, here in Omaha, and we're continuing our Lineman of the Week series. We got some dudes on from Plattsmouth tonight. Before we get to them, just want to give everyone out there, whether you're watching this or listening, a reminder, right? If you are watching this on YouTube, right down there is the subscribe button for my YouTube channel. The more subscribers I get, the more people I get to share about the greatness of offensive line and everything football. Of course, you can click the bell for notifications. If you are listening to this on a podcast app, subscribe and you'll get notifications on all of our new episodes. And then on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. Our handle is at Bober Academy. So like I said, we're continuing our Lineman of the Week series. We're getting towards the end of this 2025 regular season. And I have the pleasure of welcoming the Plattsmouth Blue Devils. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Awesome, man. And I've worked with some of you guys at my camps, heard a lot about Plattsmouth, just familiar with the area. So it's great to have on here. So we got the whole offensive line on today. They kind of bunched up on us, which is what linemen do. They're kind of like cattle, right? They kind of just all stay together. And if it's hot out, they go find shade or they go find food. So it's really good. They're probably eating a big meal tonight. That's, again, what linemen do. But I got several of these guys here tonight. We got Elliot Yoder, Nolan Pella, Kyler Nielsen, and Max. How do you say your last name, Max? Michael, okay, kind of like it's spelled. Very good. They're the juniors on the O-line. Of course, we have the lone senior here at Josh Gradoville. So it's great to have you guys on here tonight, representing the whole O-line. All right, Coach, let's start off with you. Tell me about 2025, right? You guys are, 4-4. You got a big game this week against Ralston to go to the playoffs. Tell me how the season has gone so far for you guys.
So it's been a good season for us. Offensively, we've done a very good job in adapting into going more away from what Plattsmouth's normally known for, of just ground and pound. We've spread out the ball a little bit, which also relieves our linemen, relieves our run game a lot with that, especially with our playmakers we have on the outside. But really, we rely heavily on these big offensive linemen here. That's always been the Plattsmouth motto, is having a good offensive line, having a good running back, and leaning on them. But again, our season, we've had a good season. We've had our ups and downs in it, of course, against some really good teams in Class B. But we've answered the challenge for a lot of these games here, and we've put ourselves in a great position to make some noise in the playoffs come this next week.
Yeah, Class B is a juggernaut, man. There's a lot of good teams. I saw your record. You played against a lot of good teams, and you showed out pretty well. But let's give Josh the ability to, as the senior, to have the first say on this. Tell me about your senior season. It's been an up and down season a little bit, but how's it gone so far for you as a senior?
I think it's gone pretty good. I've enjoyed it a lot, especially by these guys. They've helped to make it kind of easy for us most games, but some of the harder games have been kind of tough on us.
Nice. And this is for any of the linemen here. What do you guys think is like your signature game so far? Like, what's the game that you like, this is who we are? Who wants to tell me about that game?
Probably.
Elkhorn.
We rushed for like 260 yards, 6.5 yards per carry in that game. So
Nice. And the Antlers are tough. I know they're having a tough season, but they got some tough kids. That's, my son graduated from Elkhorn. Both my kids did. He won a state championship there. So it's always a battle with those guys. I got a question for you guys. You had a really big game last week against Platteview, right? 49-7. Had some really good stats there. Tell me about last week's game and coming out and really kind of dominating a Platteview team. Is Platteview kind of like a rivalry for you guys because you're kind of close? Do you guys feel that, or am I reaching here?
No, you're right. It's definitely a rivalry. We call it the Battle of the Platte for a reason.
So Platteview is like, you're the better Plattsmouth type team, but Platteview, they don't deserve the name. Tell me about that game. Who wants to tell me about that game? Because it looks like you guys had a heck of a night.
I feel like they couldn't even hold up with us up front at all, and we could just get so much movement on them that everything just opened up in that game.
Nice. You got up on. Did you guys get up on them right away? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yep, you got up on them right away and just kind of coasted here. So that's always good to have the rivalry game come out and do really well in that. So it sounds like you guys are in a really good position. But coach, let me ask you a question. Tell me about your offense, right? You're an O-line coach. I'm an O-line coach. I mean, we can talk about defense and all kinds of fun stuff some other time, right? Tell me about what you guys do on offense. You mentioned that, the ground and pound kind of stuff that you had done because of the playmakers you have on the outside. You spread the ball around a little bit, and that doesn't mean that you don't run the football, because you guys got a really good running back. And tell me about your offense, what kind of plays you run, what kind of scheme you run, and what's Plattsmouth doing on offense?
So always, as you can thank Bob Deseres for this, we've been a big counter team. Love running counter football, but we've added some tweaks to it. We love running RPOs now, picking one guy out on the defense and making him wrong every single play. And as I said, we got the playmakers on the outside. So getting the ball to those playmakers relieves our running back of carrying the ball 30, 40 times a game. He might still get the ball a majority of the time, but it makes defenses second guess that half second slower. That gets us that yard, gets these offensive linemen in place to get a linebacker to get to that second level to make good plays.
Nice. So your counter game, you've added the RPO, which we do that, and it lets you to take one guy and not block him. And it's a lot of times you can do that to their best player.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're like, hey, let's make him wrong. Let's make him choose, and then make him choose the wrong one. And so when you run counter, you're doing enough a read with if he crashes or if he takes the ball carrier, you're gonna have your quarterback deal it. Is that kind of what you guys are majoring in?
Yeah, if the defensive end, normally we'd like to read the defensive end. If he wants to run up the field, we'll just hand it off and we'll just run a normal counter. If he wants to crash down like a defensive lineman is taught to be and get in the tackle's hip, then we'll pull a quarterback or run it, and we'll either run a swing pass with it or an outside receiver screen with that. And then the quarterback also has the option to run that ball. So it's basically the modern age of triple option football that we run.
Yeah, a little counter read. I like it, and especially when you're spreading them out, you give yourself space to do that. And then you get a lot of light boxes that way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Tell me about your other guy, your skilled guys on offense. Who do you got? I know you got a big time running back. Look, has had a great year. Tell me about him, your quarterback, some of your skilled guys.
So Levi Walker's our running back, second year running back on varsity, and he's done a very good job. He had an older brother, Ethan Walker, who was a very good running back for us. Levi's a little bit bigger than him and can take a little bit more hits, but he's also got that quickness, that speed, where if you just try to keep him in the box, he'll get outside the box and he'll do a good job. Our quarterback, Braden Van Winkle, he's been very good. I've been coaching him since he was a freshman on that level. So him and I have worked a lot on these RPOs, and he does a very good job in making the correct read a lot of the time. Our outside receivers, we have Nate Frederick and Trayson Skalberg. Trey's a big time receiver. He's very good out there. Teams have to be wary about him, otherwise we're going to take advantage of it and we're going to get him the ball as much as we can. And he's very shifty in space and can also stretch you vertically with it. Nate is more of our finesse receiver. He's not as quick, but he runs his routes very, very well. I'm very happy with Nate running the ball. We run a jailbreak screen, and every time we run that, I like to get him the ball because he's always just seeming to glide down the field and get through there. And then our other receiver, our slot receiver, Cody Nembowski, he's an animal, man. He's quick, he's powerful. It's fun watching him when he gets the ball in his hand because he'll make a guy miss or he'll run you over.
Nice. Sounds like you guys got a good. And your quarterback's just a junior, is that right?
He is a senior.
Oh, he's a senior. Okay, maybe as your running back, is he a junior?
Yep, our running back is a junior.
Nice. It's nice to have a guy like that. You're going to have for a little while. But let's talk about your running back. Who wants to tell me about Levi, man? What he's done? I mean, I see he's averaging about 140 a game, which is pretty impressive, especially in Class B. Who wants to tell me about the running back and what you like? How you guys feel about blocking for that guy?
Well, he's obviously one of our friends, so it feels good blocking for him. And they pull me a lot because I'm a right guard, and I always like feeling. Sometimes he guides me with my hand which way he wants me to go, and it feels good whenever we get a big run right behind me.
So as the running back, he's having this amount of success. He's your friend, right? Does he take care of you guys, right? Bring you some McDonald's breakfast sandwiches or pancakes or anything like that. Tell me about what he does to make that relationship special.
Oh, we hang out almost every weekend.
Yeah.
He's just a good friend of ours. No McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, sadly, though. I'd appreciate that.
I'm going to put a bug in his ear, man. If he watches this, I'm putting a plug in for taking care of your lineman, right? You want to make linemen happy. You give them food, right? Even if he's bringing leftovers from dinner last night, bring it to you guys, let you guys finish it off. That's what smart running backs do. He's just a junior, so maybe for a senior year he'll bring some of that stuff to you guys. That's awesome, man. It's great that running backs and no linemen, they have a bond, right? Because you got to get out there and get those tough yards, and he's right there with you. And I got so much respect for running backs because as linemen, we get to hit people, right? They really are defenseless. So you think about it, try going up and hitting guys without using your hands because you got to hold on the ball. You know what I mean? So it's pretty special to have a lineman, a running back that you guys like. Let me talk about your quarterback, right? Tell me about your quarterback. Like, I'm such a big student of offensive football, and I love hearing about the quarterback and their personality out in the huddle, right? So as coaches, we stand there on the sideline and we think we know what's going on out there in the huddle. But tell me what Braden's like out there in the huddle. Is he a really fiery, intense guy? Is he really calm? What's he like out there?
I would say he's really intense. He's like, let's go, guys. It's on you. Let's pound it down their throat. That's kind of how he is.
That's the clean version of kind of what he says out there in the huddle.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that gets you guys fired up. I guess, as a guy who's dealing RPOs and running the ball and doing some stuff like that, he's got to be pretty darn tough, right?
Yeah. We do a lot of quarterback run with him, so he takes some hits sometimes.
Yeah. He likes to get after. So he's kind of like a running back out there that could throw the ball. But that's awesome. And he's out there firing you guys up and kind of gets everyone going. That's kind of what a quarterback is meant to do. What about for you young guys out there, your linemen? Tell me about, I know I've seen some highlight film of your receiver who's doing really, really good. Tell me about some of those guys out there and what do they bring to the table, those receivers and what they do.
So we got Trey. We like throwing the ball downfield to him. He can basically catch anything on the field. He has 4 or 5 touchdowns, maybe 6, a lot of yards. Cody's our fast little guy. He's slot. We run him on jets, get him out in space, make sure we get blockers for him. And Nate runs routes really well. He's usually open. Throw him the ball, he'll catch it. One of those type of guys.
Nice. Well, sounds like you got a great unit over there on the offensive side. And, I love when linemen know what the skill guys are doing. You know what I mean? Because they're in the trenches and blocking. It's nice to give them a little love out there too. All right, Coach. Now's the really important part, right? Let's talk about your O-line. All right. We talked a little bit about, what you guys do, right? Counter. And Coach Tezuris he was a coach at UNO when I was there. So I know Bob really well. He was actually at our practice last week. Came out and he says, I'm retired now. I just wanted to go watch some football. So he came to practice, just hung out. And he always, him and I know each other pretty well. So he came down by the line and him and I chatted up a little bit. So what a great dude to have involved with Plattsmouth, which is really cool. But tell me about your dudes up front, right? Tell me about, the guys that are playing. I think you got all the starters on here. Tell me about what they bring to the table and what they do for you. Each position. Tell me about those guys a little bit.
So starting from left to right, I'm going to go with Kyler first. Kyler as our left tackle. Kyler's kind of our do-it-all type guy. If you need him to get a double team, if you need him to get out in space, if you need him to down block, he can pretty much do anything. He's physical with it. He's very aggressive with it. He's like his older brother. His older brother played for us a couple of years ago, Trevor. Trevor was very physical with it, and Kyler reminds me a lot of him. A little bit better temper than Trevor had, but he's very good at that. Moving interior, then at left guard, Joshua Gradoville. Gradoville is a great down blocker, great at getting out in space, great kick out blocks with that as well. Moving to my center, Nolan. Nolan has really surprised me. At the start of the year, we had him at right tackle, but then we moved him inside to guard and eventually moved him to center because Nolan has been the vocal leader of that offensive line. Ever since we've put him at center, he has been making out calls for blitzers, telling the line where to go, just what a center is supposed to be doing. He's kind of the brains of that operation in the middle there, and I'm very happy with how he's been able to do that and adjust to that. Going to my right guard, Elliot. Elliot probably the best kick-out blocker in the state. I'm going to say that right now. He's very good at that. He's very good at wrapping around, wrapping up inside the linebackers. Again, whenever we want to pull on a play, we're pulling Elliot's. That's pretty much the option. And then Max, my right tackle, very good at down blocks, very big body out there, hard to get around him, hard to move him, and he does a very good job on climbing on his double teams too. So overall, as a unit with this offensive line, they're very good, and it helps that 4 of them are juniors, and even Joshua, he played with us down last year and 2 years ago. So these 5 guys have had a lot of reps together. They've had a lot of experience, so they can build that bond where they don't have to talk to each other, but they know what they're going to be doing on every single play together.
Nice. That sounds like a heck of a group, and it's nice when the coach knows what they do well, so you can use it, right?
Absolutely.
Elliot's the pulling guy, right? So it's kind of like the skilled player of the O-line, the guy that gets to pull all the time. Tell me, Elliot, tell me about pulling. Like what when you pull out there, what are you thinking when you're pulling on counter?
Killing somebody is my favorite thing because half the time they're running upfield and they don't even see you for kickouts, and then I love wrapping up the middle linebackers. Nice.
And he's not only a kickout guy, he's a lead guy too. And I love teaching pulling because there's believe it or not, there's some technique to it that once you kind of figure out how to use that same foot, same shoulder, when you come around there, you can really demolish guys, but you also don't miss them very much. Where I just don't like it when coaches say, okay, just go pull and get that guy. You know what I mean? Then you go and try to blow him up, and lo and behold, you miss him half the time, and you might catch him once in a while and really blow him up. But if you miss him, he makes the tackle. So sounds like you got a heck of a group there, Coach, which is awesome. And again, as an O-line coach, when you got guys playing a lot and you got another year with them, you just kind of you're just dreaming about different things that you could do with them.
Absolutely. There are things that I'm not looking forward to next year yet, but looking in the future, there are some things that we're going to be doing that's going to use the advantage of every single one of these guys.
Nice. All right, linemen, you guys got a tight group. I can tell this, guys. You guys are all in the same house, right? You're hanging out here midweek, getting ready for a big game. Give me some stuff about your O-line, man. What are some things that people are going to hear about when they watch this or listen to this that you want them to know? Like who's the intense guy, right? Who's the funny guy, right? Who's the smelly guy? Give me some inside info on the O-line.
I'd definitely say the most intense guy and always keeps stuff up. Sometimes a little scrappy, Nolan, for sure.
Nice. So tell me about Nolan's scrappiness. What does he do out there? Who gets the most pancakes? Is Nolan who gets the most pancakes? Like who's the guy that's putting guys on the ground all the time?
Kyler.
Kyler's that guy, huh? He's just that dude that knows how to finish, huh?
Yeah, I guess for sure.
One of those things that even when the play's down the field, you're still finishing the guy laying on top of him, giving the business.
Yeah.
You need a guy like that, man. I measure my success by how many pancakes we get. And my own linemen, if they get a certain amount of pancakes, if they get 5 pancakes a week, I bring them pancakes to our Tuesday morning meeting. So it's always a big deal. Don't want to up the game there, Coach, for you, but pancakes are a great motivator for that. And, here's the deal, right? Even if you grade out really well, I like to gauge, how physical we are and our standard, our intensity by how many pancakes we get. Because it's easy just to, okay, I got my guy, I down blocked him, he's not going to make the play. Like there's a difference between blocking a guy and putting him on the ground and pancaking him, right?
Absolutely.
And especially with high school guys, man, you get them on a roll where they're pancaking guys, and all of a sudden you start taking people's will. I love it. Any other inside information about any O-line? Any funny stories or?
Our practices are pretty fun.
Tell me about practice. You have fun in practice?
Yeah, I'd say we have fun. We first off usually middle of the week Tuesdays we go to the shoot work. Every step that we do, Cobra or polar steps. So our counter and power. And then on Wednesday we go up to the sled, work on technique. We all like that, right?
We love sled Wednesdays.
Always have fun with that. And then when we go down to team, we always are just communicating, make sure we know what we're doing for Friday, and make sure we're the best squad we can be against this next team that we're playing that week.
Nice. You guys have been together for a while, right? You got getting to your ninth game. You probably got it kind of down by now. Coach, I love it when linemen say they love the sled.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's good work for them up there.
Yeah.
It teaches you toughness more than anything.
does.
You use technique, but it's more toughness up there than it is anything
Yeah,
else.
use a little bit, but it's more about just coming off the ball, right?
Absolutely.
You can tell when a guy's got it by how he hits the sled. Like, and not even like how he hits it, how much he wants to hit the sled. So sounds like your group is really liking to get after it, which I love. My guys love when we do conditioning, doing the sled instead of conditioning. So when I get just rapid fire through there, I wear them out pretty good. But they'd rather do that than run gassers. So they're good stuff. All right, as we get towards the end here, right, we got a really big game coming up against Ralston this week, right? So pretty much you guys are almost, if you win this game, you're in the playoffs, right, Coach?
Yep, absolutely.
So this is really a playoff. Your playoff season starts right now, right? So Friday night is a playoff game for you guys. Coach, to start with you, tell me about practice this week. How are you guys getting ready for this big game?
So practice has been intense, just like it always is. We're trying to come in with the same mentality, not change anything up that we have in the past. But really, last week for us was a playoff game as well. We had to win both games. Apparently, somebody's camera died.
His laptop died.
So we got all 5 in the same room right now. But again, it's been an intense practice week for us. We've been trying to stay focused, do things right, and just continuously get better every single day.
Nice. So you linemen, tell me about your mentality as you guys are, there's something about knowing that you have to win to keep your season going. How's that been going for you guys? What's your message within the team, within the players?
I would just say that, we're obviously always focused on winning, but it kind of makes us mad because I feel like there's games early in the season that we should have won, and we should have obviously already been in the playoffs, but I feel like that drives us more that we have a chance in the playoffs.
Yeah, so you kind of feel like, you left something on the table and, as long as you're still alive, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, last question I have. I'll start with Coach on this one. As I go through these every week, I always like to ask, a lot of times a team for a season will come up with kind of a slogan or a theme, something you put on T-shirts and something you break down with at the end of practice or whatever. Do you guys have one of those this year?
So we have a few that we've been going through, but the main one is all for one. All for one, basically one for all. Again, that's
nice.
The back of Elliot's shirt right there. That's our motto that we started the year with and that we've gone. And then the other one that we go with is family. Again, because as a team, we want to be a family together, and all for one, we want to be a very selfless team where we're not worried about stats. We're not worried about getting receptions. Yeah, it's just like being an offensive lineman where it's a very selfless position where, everything you do right is going to go to the running back, is going to go to the quarterback, is going to the receiver. But as soon as you mess up and make one mistake, everybody's looking at you. So, and we want to be a very selfless team as we move forward.
Nice. So who got to pick the theme this year? Did the seniors get to pick it? How's that process work?
I believe it was our coach.
Yeah, I believe it was Coach Larson who picked it. Again,
Okay.
As we've gone throughout the years, we kind of build these core values in them because obviously as coaches, we want to be coaches of men. We want to turn these young adults into men of high quality and high character with that. So Coach Larson does a very good job in coming up with this and coming up with these mottos and instilling these values into these players.
Yeah, it's kind of like the message for this year. What do you guys think about this year's theme?
And we also have another one called Brotherhood. We play for each other and everyone plays for everyone else. It's not a single player, it's everyone that's contributing into this team. So even a scout team guy, if they play hard on scout team this week, we're gonna get better. We're gonna play better. They're just all feeding into our success.
That's awesome. The scout team is a big deal, right? That look you get, there's nothing more frustrating than have to get after the scout team because they're not going hard, and you don't want a brother-in-law over there, right? You want someone to make you compete. So sounds like you guys have that. All right, guys, this has been great, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on. I love hearing about your guys' culture, right? I love hearing about the offense you guys run. That's kind of I'm a geek about that stuff, but it's so good to see, Coach on here. You can tell that you guys are playing for one another, playing for your coach, playing for your team, playing for your community. I know the Plattsmouth community is pretty strong down there, and you guys are representing them well. Now, before I get done here, I'm going to just remind everyone, If you are watching this on YouTube, right down there is the subscribe button. Just go ahead and click that subscribe button. We'd love it. And then subscribe to our podcast channel and then all of our socials at boberacademy.com. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. I want to wish you guys the best of luck this week against Ralston. Just hearing what you guys say, I know you guys are kind of coming into your own right now. And you guys are going to be kind of a sleeper in the Class B playoffs. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys come up with a big victory this week and then hopefully knock some guys down here in the playoffs coming up. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Best of luck this week, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.